What's up, Motive Gang? It's your dark skin girl with a motive, Poko Rams, and welcome to the Melanin Motive, where we have candid conversations about navigating this life thing in our 20s and in our 30s. We are all trying to figure it out. Why not figure it out together? What's up? What's good? How you doing? How you feeling? It's your dark skin girl. She's back. Pats myself on the back for making all of this progress. Your girl is really committing. Shout out to God, because without him, I would not be here. Anyway, as we can see by the title, we're getting into tea. I don't want to waste any of your times and just get into it. I've been having a whole lot of conversations with people around this particular topic, but I want to lead with this tweet that I saw, and I'm not really a Twitter person, but thank God for platforms where we're able to, also give different perspectives, because we're all raised differently. We come from different backgrounds, privileged, non-privileged, higher class, upper class, lower class, middle class, all kinds of classes. And I think that our perspectives are something that I like to learn from. And so I saw a tweet, babes. I saw a tweet that really just caught my eye. And this tweet said, "Why do we give men so many chances, but our friends only get like one?" And I was like, "Oh, boop, 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 boop. Tea. That is tea over there." And I went into this tweet thinking, people are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, it's because girls consider their friendships or their relationships more than they do their friendships. Also, that is the heel." I thought I was going to, bump into one of those. But one of the girls said in response to that tweet, "Because our friends don't apologize." And I said, "Ooh, ooh, can we have a moment of silence for that statement? Because what? Tea." And that was a lot of tea to clock. I just ate it up. I was eating it up because that is one of the reasons why I feel like relationships right now are so different, and how also in society we've been socialized to just see relationships as different. Your relationship with your boyfriend, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your friends. And I loved that perspective because we don't have a lot of conversations about it. And so this episode is called Getting It Off Your Chest the First Time. Get it off your chest. Get it off your chest. You've got things to say. You've got your own will and your willpower. You're living here on earth. You've got boundaries. You've got things that you tolerate and things that you don't tolerate. Meanwhile, you're sat there, usmumu, you're mute. You don't say what you want to say the first time. And that festers and brings on so much of this avoidance in relationships, avoidance in conversations, avoidance in conflict, which I totally understand, because who wants to be in conflict? I don't. Personally, for me, I don't. And I really have an understanding for this perspective. But how can we get it off our chest the first time? I need us to do that, because I think that if we don't, it just starts to fester up a lot of this resentment, and we become these avoidant friends, these avoidant people in our relationships, and we don't really address the situation when we need to address the situation. And for me, in relationships, I really see them as the same. I don't know why sometimes people and society makes it seem as though it's these different things. Yes, each relationship's platonic relationship, romantic, friendship, familyship, they're all different. They have different little pillars that they carry on their own. But I really feel like the basics and the basis of what relationships are the same. Adult relationships require adult efforts. Adult relationships require apologizing, owning up to mistakes, being honest with each other, being vulnerable. All those basics are all the same. And I think that we put maybe a little bit more into our romantic relationships, understandably, because we are pursuing families and, a future with this person. But does that mean that all the other relationships fall back? No, because you need those people. And I think a lot of us in our relationships, or a lot of other people in their relationships, maybe might consider more of the romantic relationship more than the other friendships. And I'm here to correct that narrative, because I do think that it's robbing us of good relationships, and relationships that also share efforts, and measured efforts, because all relationships need work and they require work. Why are we considering more of our romantic relationships more than our friendship relationships or our family relationships, especially with family, because you take advantage of the fact that they'll always be there. She'll always be there. She'll always have my side. And so you take advantage of that. Whereas when you look at friendships, you look at your friendships as people that are superhuman. They're able to take it. I'm going to be your friend through everything that you go through. I'm supposed to be a part of your ebbs and flows, and I'm your chosen family. But with your chosen family, how do you make sure that your relationship works? And why do we not see that, these relationships are the same and the basics of how your relationship with your man, whenever you call him, whenever you go on dates with him, whenever you spend time with him, is the same kind of effort that you should be making in all your other relationships. And that is the tea we're about to clock. I went to a boarding school. I went to boarding school. It was a girls' school, so I experienced all types of girls. Your bitchy ones, your nice ones, the great ones, the introverted ones, the loud ones, the chatterboxes, the gossips, the bullies, the list goes on. And I'm truly grateful to have that experience. I think, being at a school with girls, they foster a lot of community, foster a lot of friendship, cheerleading, um, a lot of that because we are obviously in a very hostile environment. We're away from our families and things that we know what our lives to be. Back at home, it's very different from what hostel is. Hostel is very militant. You have to get up at this time, do this at this time, go to school, do this. Everything is away from your family. It's very different. But one thing that they're obviously trying to also incorporate is a sense of community and a way to sort of lean on one another. And I think for me, being in spaces like that, I used to always think that it was better to communicate first. I had friendships that I had cultivated where we said, speak about it the first time. And I loved it because I'm a communicator. Well, I thought I was. um, I like to think that I was a communicator, and I think maybe some of that might have been dimmed down for the sake of Poko, pick your arguments or pick your fights. I really was an advocate for confrontation and not confrontation with ego and like nastiness, but really just to have an honest conversation of, hey, babes, what you did today kind of bothered me. Let's not do that again. Obviously, tone, approach, that's very necessary, especially because as girls and as women, as we all know, our relationships with women and how men do their friendships is not the same. With men, they're going to be like, I wear now your shit. They say all kinds of things to each other and then they get over it and they're okay because they don't internalize the way that we do. But the way that we do it is that our emotions are all the way invested the same way your friend does this with her head when she's speaking to you. Now you're like, absolutely not. You will not speak to me like that. Why do you have to give me attitude when you speak to me? Because we're now we say, now hands are up. And it's like, we're a little bit too emotional. And I get it. I think that we should operate from what our essence is. We are soft people. We are vulnerable people. Things that people say will touch us. We are hypersensitive. And I don't think that we should move away from that trying to act like men. Because I've had conversations, and I'm sure you've had conversations where you've been with your friends and you're like, I wish we could be like more like guys where they don't really care. They like get over it. And guys' friendships are more different to women's relationships. You guys get over your stuff really quickly. For us, it takes like months, 6 years, 10 years, all kinds of years, which I understand. But I also don't want us to move away from our softness because we're women. Look at the material. We are soft, we are sensual, we are hypersensitive, and I want us to own that. But in owning all of this hypersensitivity, I do need us to, approach the way that we handle our relationships as in general with a little bit more of standing on business. You see my hands shaking? They're not shaking because I'm standing on my business. Your boundaries need to be set. And I think this comes a lot into, knowing who you are. You hear these cliches about be yourself, but really, it really do be like be yourself because there are boundaries that you need to set into place so that people can respect and you don't feel as though your boundaries or things that you tolerate are being violated. And so I think a lot of the things that we do in our friendships, in our relationships, and this goes in general, guys, boys, um, we avoid having conversations because we don't want to have conflict. And so it creates this environment where we are not really being honest about what has been happening and we keep it to ourselves. And we now provide this environment where we have avoidant relationships, avoidant friendships, and we are not speaking about something that actually bothered us. Like, actually, Trimi, what you did that other day was not cute. Don't do it again, you know? Like I said, it's got to do with tone, the way that you approach it. And I think us as women, we're sensitive to stuff like that. But I feel like with the sensitivity, we've created environments that avoid us having honest conversations for the sake of, I want to keep for the peace of mind of the relationship. I want to keep the peace in the relationship. I don't want any conflict in the relationship, so I'm not going to say anything. The problem, though, with not saying how it is that you feel, especially the first time, is that now you are building up all of this resentment and it's all on your own. And so you are huffing and puffing, huffing and puffing, going through all of these emotions. Meanwhile, someone out there is really just enjoying their lives. They don't even know what they did to you, but you're huffing and puffing. Every time you see them, spatlo somehow, your whole face just changes. You're just like, now you're here just because that person's here. Your face just changes because that one person that did something to you. Now, no, I'm sorry. We cannot be doing that to ourselves. Your face cannot change. You need to stay beautiful, stay cute, stay demure, keep it classy. Maybe get it off your chest the first time so that you don't have to change your face. Maybe get it off your chest the first time so that you don't have to continue to deal with people that maybe are not willing to respect your boundaries, or maybe just speak about what it is that is bothering you so that you could have a better relationship with them and they know not to do it again. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we should try that. And I think it's such a big conversation because, like I said, I went to a girls' school and I saw all kinds of relationships. And I used to think that, okay, maybe it's better if I just become confrontational. But then as you keep going on in life and as you keep growing up, society and things and traumas will kind of quieten you. And because you need people, especially for me, I have my childhood abandonment issues. I don't have a parent. I found a whole lot of safety in my community, a whole lot of holding on to people in my life because I wanted to keep them there because I didn't have a lot of people around me. And so because I'm holding on to these people, now I am just accepting just about anything just because I don't want them to go away. Even when they disrespect me, even when they don't treat me the way I want to be treated, and I'm not speaking about it because I'm like, no, but go pick your fights. You don't want to be confrontational. The girls are sensitive. The girls are bye, 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 bye. Goodbye, please. I only feel like it just takes about 2 seconds just to get something off of your chest. It takes about 2 seconds just to get it off your chest the first time. Why are we avoiding it? Get it off your chest. Get it off your chest. Because then you have conversations with people and it's like, yeah, you did this to me in 2006. 2006, babes. 2006 was crazy work. So you've been holding me in contempt for this entire time. And I didn't know that that was something that bothered you. And now I'm only finding about it now. I'm only finding out about it right now. That's crazy work. And I think it's a hard pill to swallow to find out that your friend has been holding something against you for that long. And also, the thing about holding things for that long is that it builds up this resentment. And now, tracking back to all the things that you've been doing with this person since 2006, you start to be like, okay, what was genuine and what was out of spite because of what I had done to them? What was it, And I don't want us to get into cycles like that because also, guys, in this society, ever since we've come from COVID has taught us one thing as a whole, that we need people. And I think there was a lot of isolation that we went through, and we had to survive with our families. We're getting annoyed with each other, all of this. And we just wanted to be outside with the people that will make us feel a little bit more lighter. But those people are not superhuman, vibes. They are people with feelings. Whether you think that the things that you do don't have an impact on them or you don't care what they think, it has an impact on them. Those are people that care about you. Those are relationships that need nurturing. And yet we're keeping things that have happened to us, that they've done to us from 2016 until now. Excuse me? No. I need you to get it off your chest the first time. Because then now we're wasting less time staying in relationships, in friendships, in actual romantic relationships longer than we should because this person doesn't either respect a boundary that you set in place or doesn't take accountability for something that they have done to you. Also, in this thing of us trying to make our friends feel like they are less human and being like, yeah, but then even as My friends, they know better because I tell them everything. Yeah, okay, cool. Maybe they might know better, but are they not normal? Are they not humans? Do they not make mistakes? Can you not point out their mistakes without it being combative? Does it have to be a rah rah? I don't want rah rah. I just want to have a conversation with you about what you've done to me that hurt me. That's all. Why does it have to be a rah rah? Then you can kind of decipher that, okay, these are the type of people that I want in my life and these are not. And I used to be this person. I used to be like, okay, if this conversation with this person after I've had it with them, they either don't receive it well, then I know that, okay, maybe this is not for me. Why? I want to have understanding in my relationships, guys. Like, there's been so much people pleasing, fear being seen, all of these things that we've been unpacking have had an impact and an influence on who Poko is. But I need to be able to have safe spaces where I'm able to get it off my chest the first time so that it is healthy. And they know that because it annoyed Poko the last time, I won't do this again so that I can make her feel comfortable. No? Is it not? Is it not sort of the same as like your relationships? You have your fight with your man, and after that, you guys are annoyed with each other, maybe don't talk to each other for the whole day, but at 8 p.m., he's like, we are not sleeping until we solve this thing. And you speak about it and you hash it out until you get to a place where you have an understanding between each other, and then the relationship goes on. Why? Because there are two people in this relationship that want it to work. And so what are we going to do about it? We're going to actually speak about it, speak about what's bothering me so that we can get over it. So why are we not doing that in our relationships? Let's chat, babes. Let's chat. Put it in the chat. What are we doing? Why do we not do that? And guys, it doesn't even have to be the biggest of things. I think the problem is that we let these little things keep coming up, keep coming up, keep coming up, and it becomes one big thing. And it's like, you really kept this thing from 2006? You hate me. You actually hate me. Why didn't you speak to me in 2006 that this was something that bothered you so that I can do better as a friend to you? I can do better as a sister to you. I can do better as a brother to you. Why don't we do that? Why don't we apologize to each other? Why are we not accountable about the things that we've done to people? Like now I know that, okay, every time I did this to Hori-san, that this is how it was and she feels uncomfortable with it. Now I'm going to do better. That's what you do in your relationships, Miss Ma'am. And they know better. But you don't hold your relationships with your boyfriend to a standard the way that you do with your friends. But yes, we're sensitive as women. Yeah, guys, don't speak to me like that. Don't ing. I also got a certain way that I don't want to be spoken to. I don't want to be addressed in a certain way. Clock it, baby girl. As long as you're clocking something and you're standing on your business. And I'm not saying now let's bring up a situation every 6 weeks. We don't have to do that. I always used to be like, okay, I'm confrontational and I'm communicating, so I'm just gonna, say it right now. Now it's like every day, you and you're always picking a fight. Obviously, my sister, come on. Some things are not worth the fight. Sometimes also look at your friend and be like, did they mean to do that? No, maybe not. If they do it the second, third time, then you can be like, okay, cool, dude. Like, let me actually address it. Sometimes pick your arguments. See it as, okay, this person is human. They made this mistake the first time. Maybe they won't do it the second time. Not even maybe. They won't do it the second time because they respect me. And if they do it the second time, address it the first time. Get it off your chest, Miss Ma'am. I've had so many conversations with people just this week, and I was like, wow. And then I saw this tweet, and people are just saying, how do I speak to this person? This is what they do to me, and I don't want to, ruin the relationship, and I don't want the relationship to be ruined. But I'm like, but at whose expense? At your peace of mind? And at the expense of how you feel, you're going to keep quiet? No. If it means that you lose this person, then let them be lost, because then they were never meant to be in your life in the first place. But then you're also not wasting time for the next 16 years keeping things from 2006. Babes, math. The math is mathing now. The math is mathing. The math is mathing, girls. My frontal lobe is developing. My frontal lobe is developing. There's a lot of growing up to do in this department, and I know where I need to get better in my relationships, in addressing things the first time. And I'm not saying that it's easy. Some people are not understanding, some people are not accountable, and so we avoid it as a whole. And I get it. Sometimes it's just like, just leave those people where they're at. I think it's also really being real about the expectations that you have from people. Don't let it be unrealistic, of course. I think if you just sat down with someone and you were vulnerable and you said, hey, dude, actually, this is what you did, and I want to really work on our relationship and have it be better. Can we speak about it so we can get over it? Can we speak about it so that this situation doesn't reoccur again? Done. Done. Get it off your chest. Oh, I'm scared. I don't want to create a fight. I don't want to. No, girl, it should not be a fight, especially in your safe spaces. You're going to annoy each other. My friends annoy me. And I need to be able to be like, actually, today, umborile, and I don't want to speak to you. Not even in a mean way, but like, let's just be real. In that aspect, remove the feelings of it, of she's probably jealous of me. She probably, and girls like to do that. And it always has to be some sort of agenda. What if I'm just a friend that just wants to understand how my other friend feels, or just wants understanding extended to me about how I feel about a situation? Get it off your chest the first time. Don't let it fester up. Resentment festers up. And now the little things that they do start to annoy you. And now you acting funny. Excuse me? Who are you acting funny for? Now we're going to be here acting funny for each other. And obviously, as girls go, it's not going to end really cute, because then you're catching an attitude with who? Vibes? Who are you catching an attitude for? I don't want to encourage us to, keep cutting off, cut. Yes, cut off if it doesn't serve you, if your boundaries are not respected, and if you're not able to communicate clearly. Because I feel like I've been in relationships, in friendships where I was avoiding conversations with them because I was like, yo, utlokwata, cut it. Now I've wasted all of that time. Not even wasted, but now all of that time has gone when I could have spoken about it the first time. But now little things keep popping up. And because I didn't place a boundary in place, you keep overstepping that boundary. And we don't want that. In your relationships with your family, obviously it's going to be difficult, but you'd rather do that and have your stance respected. And especially in Black communities, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, no, I'd like respect you, nana. I know. It's not even like that, parents. I see. I need now. Wait. Oh, I just want to get something off of my chest that you do that bothers me. Is that wrong? Can we foster some honest relationships? Can we foster some honest conversations? Can we get it off our chest the first time? Please? Can we do that? Okay. I'm sending you out to go do that. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope that you take something from it. Let's unpack what this tweet was. Why do we always give our men a chance, but we give our friends one chance? Crazy business. Let's unpack that. Let's unpack how we can get it off our chest the first time. Let's unpack how we can be more accountable in our relationships. I want to hear it all. Put it in the comments, like it, share it with your friends, and let's cultivate an honest conversation about this, because I feel like there's more to unpack about it, but I'm just one person and I have one perspective, and I'd love your perspective. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me on Unpacking This Tea. It was so good, and I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to share this with your loved ones. Let's get the conversation going here on the Melanin Motive. This is your dark-skinned girl with a motive, Poko, and I'm signing out. Mwah.